Hello, and welcome to Virtually Heroes. My name's Logan. I'm a dungeon master, and this is a show where finally we're gonna be on the road and doing stuff outside of the one city I made, which is everybody's favorite city.
It's a good
It is a good city.
Yeah, but I'm the dungeon master, and I eat, sleep, and breathe Dungeons and Dragons. And joining me today are four lovely people who are gonna go on some adventures. Starting with my wife, Annabelle Martin. Who are you? What do you do? What do you play?
I'm Annabelle. I play Orandi Wheel. It's been a minute since I feel like I've used an accent, so I'm gonna just start early and hopefully I'll stick with it. Orandi is a Hexblade Warlock, first level, no more levels than first, with 4 levels of Soul Knife Rogue, and she botches assassinations. That's what she does. That's her thing. But she tries to be a good guy, and that's the important thing. Is I know they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but she's also from hell. So anyway, yeah.
Um. Also, I forgot to mention, I apologize for not posting anything on social media or anywhere, or even talking about the fact that we weren't here last week, but Annabelle just reminded me that it has been a while since we've sat and played, so I hope everybody had a great Valentine's Day. We did. Me mostly, because she's my wife. Daniel, who are you? What do you do? What do you play? How's your Valentine's Day?
Hi, I'm Daniel Sanders. My Valentine's Day was lovely. I got some Bolivian food, so tried that for the first time. Fantastic. I would highly recommend. I play Cerberus Lenegoth, a high elf wizard fighter, who, yeah, he's kind of a dick.
You guys are really setting this show up for...
A lovable dick.
That was an abrupt, like.
A good dick.
He's a shocking dick, but he shocks balls off, I guess. I don't know.
every party needs a good dick. Brian, who are you? What do you do? What do you play? How's your Valentine's Day?
My Valentine's Day was fine. I didn't do anything, but
You spent part of your Valentine's Day with us, didn't you? Wait, didn't we play games together? Actually,
I think we did.
I think we did. Yeah.
That's right.
I play Jaxwood Flintbelt. He's a hill dwarf, druid / ranger. He has recently come into a pet basilisk, which is pretty cool. Haven't named him yet. Leading secrets, but I'm not sure yet. And also he fucks shit up.
I like that every intro for Jax is, I've recently come into a girlfriend. I recently come into a new tavern, ownership of a new tavern. I recently come into a basilisk. That first one I didn't say correctly.
Literally. Well, we don't know. I don't think even Jax knows.
Anyway.
How's your pull-out game, Jax?
I don't kiss and tell, so.
But yeah, I just love that it's like recently I have started this new venture. Like everybody else is like, I'm this guy, and you're like, well, I happen to have new real estate available.
It's free.
And joining us from sunny pandemic epicenter and hopefully being very safe is Robinson. Who are you? What do you do? What do you play? How's your Valentine's Day?
Being safe, don't worry, masked, distancing, all the jazz. I play Zafari Cienadel, a clunk, as I lovingly call him, wood elf cleric monk. I punch things, I hit things, I think about things, and I think I've been shown that I have curse things on myself. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to deal with that.
Curses, DM's best friend. Hit the villain, Clunk.
Wrong!
Alright. And so with that, we're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons. Last time... Oh, but no, I can't start the session without asking everybody what they remember from last session. For the uninitiated, instead of doing a recap, I just asked my players what they remember so we can focus on the parts that I did right and not the parts I did wrong. So in no particular order, Brian Roberts, top 3 things from last session, go.
First and foremost, here.
Name the basilisk Ozzy.
Ozzy the Basilisk.
What else happened last session? Can't remember. I'm pretty sure last session is when I got to willingly lay with Cricket for the first time that I can remember, because I think the first time I was drunk, at least. Yeah, and then I remember us setting off on an adventure away from Zealous that we've been in for a couple months now.
Yeah, Cricket and the Hagspawn blood rituals get kind of weird, but it's a good time, you know. Daniel Sanders, what are your top 3 things from last session?
All right, first off, I think we should name the basilisk Snoop Dogg, because he's always getting people stoned. Anyway, I remember first and foremost bringing Orandi back. She was naked on a chair. Let's see what else.
She was wearing sensor bars.
Yeah.
Twitch.
I bet. Also, Zell found a very strange letter in the potion shop mentioning Port James, I believe. And then, let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, Zell looks like he went through some like PTSD stuff. He's something's going on there.
I forgot about that entirely, but yeah, that was a big deal. So we'll save that for last. Annabelle Martin, you're not prepared. What are the top 3 things you remember from last session?
I was not dead. I got my stuff. I got a bunch of magic items from that assassination that I actually did not complete on my own. Technically speaking, with the part where I was dead and my party had to find me somehow and bring me back home. Yeah, so I have a bunch of really cool magic items that I am looking to share/trade with my party, because my dear friend Zalfarius got a bunch of sneak thief looking things that may keep me alive, so I'm hoping to trade some things for some things, and it'll hopefully be a good time. And then I have some cool gifts for my party.
Yeah. I think you were also threatened right before you got those items. I think that it was revealed that you had been followed. Like, they were questioning your ability, and they discovered that you they discovered at the very least that you were lacking.
There was a guy who followed me, and he told everybody that I was dead. So when I came in, they were like, and I was like, obviously he's lying. Look at me, I'm alive. So I'm not sure if that helped any, but
yeah. But yeah, and then Jordan. Top 3 things last session. What do you remember?
Let's see here. This is so weird not having to I can act today. But I remember fighting a asshole wizard. But that was super fun. I killed him with a natural 20 guiding bolt. That was really fun. Yeah, we got a few crazy good loot stuff. That was fun. We brought Rondi back. That's technically 2 in 1. And then, yeah, the big thing was, I have 4 things. Sorry. So, getting to use the storybook for the first time and kind of reading to everybody, that was a really cool moment. And then, drinking the Alimba juice and
You're welcome.
yeah. Finding out I got kind of attached to my soul, but it's fine. It's cool.
And with that, you guys have left the city. I need all 4 of you to make wisdom saving throws.
Oh god. We gonna die.
I didn't drink any Alemba juice.
That does not matter.
Okay, I was just checking.
Wisdom. Holy
Yeah, because Cerberus didn't either.
Do you know where my dice are?
Probably on that chair that's piled with stuff, if I had to guess.
That would be a 26 for
Okay.
me.
Minus 20 for me.
Negative 20?
No, it's 6.
Okay.
You got 26. Minus
Oh,
20.
I understand. Yeah, gotcha.
I rolled a 5, so mine's a 13.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, I have a +8 to saving throw. My wisdom is obviously my highest, so.
Yeah, I have a +7. I rolled a 19 on the die.
Yeah, wisdom is my second dump stat.
Just waiting on a run.
Okay. Oh, this makes me nervous. What the fuck are we rolling saving throws for?
And then here comes a giant fist!
Yep.
I got a 5.
5.
Ooh.
So, you guys both hear
Can't hear you.
a voice.
Is Logan talking to us?
Yes. No.
So,
Oh, it's just you and me. Okay.
you hear. You left. Now I don't have anyone. You took my friend away. And now you're gone. I don't know what to do.
Does it sound like a voice that we've heard before?
It does.
Does it sound like the girl in the sewer?
Yes.
I am going to think real hard, and I'll also just like say, we're coming back. Don't worry.
Coming back to where?
Not now, Jax.
What's happening?
Are you safe? And I'm gonna like go like this, like next to my temple, like that guy from Psych, the main character Sean. Try and like hone in my psychic abilities. Are you safe?
Are you talking to me?
No, Jax, not now.
There's no response.
Did you guys hear that?
Hey, the little girl from the sewers back in the day.
So far.
Years ago.
No, what are you talking about?
I did not hear anything.
The creepy little girl with the
When we met in the zoo, so she talked to you both?
I guess to Cerberus too. I thought it was just for me, but like yeah, in her brain, in my brain, our brains, our
what did
minds. She said that we took her friend away, and then she said that now we've left too, implying that she feels very lonely and sad.
Oh,
Her friend.
I probably creepy McFuckstick. What's his name?
He will always now and forever be Creepy McFuckstick.
Did she say like this? It's a bad thing? Like she's going to harm us, or?
No clue. She hasn't said. That's all she said was. I mean, it didn't sound good. Does anyone have any kind of like telepathic abilities where if you've seen or heard of someone where you can like send them a message, some kind of sending of a message?
I don't know. I don't think I do. No. Yes, I can actually do that, but I mean, it does take some of my highest slots to perform, so
A slot?
because we're aware, right, DM? Like we're aware that we have, or casting, I guess is what we call it.
Technically speaking, most arcanists refer to the energy used to cast magic as will.
Will. Okay. It takes a lot of will to cast. I mean, I can do it, but
So
I don't-
do you remember? Sorry to interrupt.
Also, this is just a tidbit. The wagon is outside the city now. You guys have pulled it, but you don't have a horse.
We have
Jack-
a Jax.
Okay, well, so Jax would be a horse.
He
That's
was-
what happened. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna add horse sounds to the audio for the stream.
I forgot that I was a horse. Yeah, you're right. So I
Uh,
can't talk.
Quick
You
side note too. How long has it been since I activated that little figurine?
Day.
I think a day.
Damn it.
Also, it's only a 25 word limit, so it's not like we can have a full conversation.
The message that Rondi and I heard was almost exactly 25 words, which brings into question how the fuck did she send it? I didn't think she was a caster. I thought she was more of a conduit.
Well, you know what they say: when you assume, you make an ass of you and me. No offense, Jax.
I mean, she did say that he told her she was special. So, I mean,
She is special. Clearly. I mean, we were very frightened of her. I'm sure she's got plenty of powers that we're not aware of, right?
and it came from her, correct?
It sounded like her voice, at least.
Fuck it. I will cast sending. I'll just kind of knead my hands and say,
Tell her, like, don't worry, and that we'll be back soon.
did we get her name? I don't think we did we?
The last I don't think you did. The last of you saw of her, she had been petrified or put in some kind of stasis and removed from the building by Arokus.
Right. But I just meant, like, we didn't get her name because she
No.
was...
I don't believe so.
Hey there. I heard you're feeling lonely. We will be back soon. So don't feel too bad. What friend are you talking about? How
Tell
many
her
do I
we
have
love
left?
her.
How many's left? You're kind of cut off.
You have 2 left.
2 left. Love you.
Love you.
There's a protracted period of silence. You begin to hear whispering. It's not really intelligible, but it begins to pick up speed and then drops off. It's almost like gibberish.
Huh.
You guys are about an hour out of the city when you hear this too.
I mean, I got the reply, but it was like gibberish almost. It wasn't. There's no. It was like whispering, but no formation of words.
Are you sure it
I don't
wasn't
know.
just in another language?
DM. Another language?
I feel like at the very
Perhaps,
least,
maybe?
if you know a lot of
Probably
languages,
not.
you'd be able to kind of pick out what seems like separate words and stuff, right? Versus
It didn't
literal
specifically
speakers.
seem to follow any kind of linguistic pattern. Like you're multilingual. You understand, like
Yeah.
you have a greater understanding
Yeah.
of linguistic structure when you know more than 2 or 3 languages. Didn't seem to
What?
follow anything.
Just
Unfortunately,
kind of muttering almost. It's almost like rambling or
see, that's strange because the message that we heard was very coherent. I wonder, either one or two things could happen. Either she ran out of strength or someone else sent the message.
Did everyone else hear literal strings of just creepy gibberish?
That's what it sounded like.
It's still doing it!
Then
Oh no!
Jordan, are you okay?
Is this one short? Is this one Zelfarius heard?
Yes, that's what Zelfarius heard.
ooh, that really bad.
I got you back. We got you
Yeah.
back.
So you just went
Yeah, that's what I heard. I was like, oh, you guys are cutting out real bad. Like, what?
Are you
We all
using
did it
Wi-Fi
then.
or a cellular
Okay.
signal?
Yeah, that's exactly what I heard. That.
He's really delayed. I think he just
So
now heard us. Like,
yeah, we
whispering.
have full bars. So jump off. I don't know. And jump
Good luck
back
to you,
on.
friends.
All right, stream video is gonna be messed up for a second. Sorry. So Safarius instantly passes out.
It used up all his will casting that one sending spell or message. It's sending, right? It's the 3rd level.
Nothing.
Oh,
Wait, you had you for a second.
My back.
You might be back.
My back. Maybe.
Who in the party speaks lag?
Maybe.
he's asking, "Am I back?" And he's.
I can
saying-
hear you.
Maybe now.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
It's like the
He
video
might
and
be
the
on.
sound
We
are-
might be delayed getting back to him.
Yeah.
Because when you were like, we heard, that's what I heard from you guys too.
We just saw your video go blah 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 blah, but no audio came out.
But we did hear. I did hear
Oh,
the
well, I
message
mean, you know.
like after. It was just really.
Yeah, so
delayed.
you just gotta have a big delay.
Oh.
You could switch to audio only, maybe. That might.
Are you guys okay with that? You just won't
No,
see
it's
any
really cool with you.
facial.
Whatever's preferable for you.
I mean, is it working better now?
Yeah,
Or am I
It's
still?
less. It's probably gonna like.
yeah. The delay is less now.
Okay. I switched to Wi-Fi, so I don't know if that.
That might help.
It's almost an imperceptible difference now. It's like catching a
Alright.
signal.
Yeah.
If
So
it doesn't, then I'll switch to voice.
I'm gonna count down from 3, and when you hear 0, clap. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so you have about a 2-second delay,
Okay.
but
Alright,
the
that's-
video and the audio are in sync.
All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, folks. But yeah. So
Where was?
Zelfarius seizes for a second and then continues the conversation.
Sorry, I was being held by, no, I'm kidding. There's a dragon! But no, we don't know where she's being held. Maybe she was moved somewhere and had an instance to convey her message, and then maybe she got moved to somewhere where, I don't know, she can't do what she did. Or she could just be scared. She was very timid of all of us.
My question still though is if she's timid, if she's scared, especially of us, why would she go out of her way to send us this message? Something feels extremely off here.
I mean, I agree.
I mean, it could just be that she doesn't know anyone else, and maybe we're her kind of last resort, sort of emergency contacts.
I mean,
if
I
that
think
makes sense.
the most recent ones to talk to her, besides Orokus or whoever has talked to her, I don't know. I'll try and meditate on it. Maybe I can, I don't know, glean something from it, but I mean, and I can try again once we settle down to rest, perhaps, and see if maybe she can respond later on.
It couldn't hurt to try to check back in, and we also we may want to ask probing questions to Orokus. He might know something.
Yeah. I just don't want to use up too much willpower before the day is before the day is over,
It looked very taxing.
in case I need to save one of you from death. So yeah, maybe tonight check in with her and see.
Yeah. While we are on the road though, going to that outskirt town, Cerberus, I'd hate to trouble you, and I'd be happy to pay you for the time. I have a few items that I'd like to have identified, if you don't mind doing me the favor of identifying them.
I mean, we've honestly got nothing but time. Hit me.
Awesome. And I pull out 6 items. One is a cool looking helmet, and one is a wand. I pull out 6, but I only give you 4 because one of them is scale mail. Well, I'll give you all 6 because I guess I technically don't know if they're all magical or not. I give you scale mail, a sword, a staff, and a dagger.
All right. In that case, I will take the items, and since there's 6, I will spend the next hour doing this.
I'll take the reins.
Do we really need reins?
I don't think there's reins. I would stop if there's reins.
Oh, well, I thought last time you said
Ripping away at the bit, just like stop.
Jack's like, whoa! This is not my kink.
Oh, by the way, while we're doing this, and I'll like touch Jack's his soft, fluffy horse mane, and I will I will use my one of my dice buddies to speak with him telepathically. I think I need to roll. Sorry, I'm trying to find the thingy. Psychic whispers. That's what I'm doing. So that I can. It's up to a number of creatures equal to my proficiency bonus. So just in case something like terrible happens to you guys. Geez, we're level 5 now, so that's a +3 proficiency bonus. So yeah, I'll just link with all 3 of you. And that link lasts for 1 hour, so not super useful, but
yeah, that's
Does that mean I can communicate freely?
You can
We
communicate with Arandi.
Yeah, and then I'll like communicate out. Oh, it says it's a D8, actually. 4. Never mind. For 4 hours, we can do that.
That's cool.
Sweet.
I'm looking things up. I'll be back shortly.
Yeah, it's a cooler day outside. It's around 60ish degrees, so light chill. Wind is coming from your left side, headed east. So the wind is moving south. You guys are headed east. Mostly cloudy, not really, kind of dry day. Looks like it's headed towards not quite rain, but just more clouds.
Oh, also, just out of curiosity, because from last game, we would know this, but does the season still work the same? So, like, people pray to the
Yes.
god? Okay.
Yes. Currently, at least in the area of Zealous and surrounding, it's Syrah is in. I don't want to say control. Is at present, so it's mostly spring, like early spring.
Cool.
So what do you guys think I should name my pet basilisk?
I think that you should name him Ozzy.
Ozzy? Is that a friend of yours?
He's a well-known bard in the Nine Hells. Well loved.
Aye.
He used to be like really like off the rails on the crazy train, but now he's a very wholesome fellow, and he just kind of goes around and does fun stuff. But no, very well known musician, and he has really cool glasses. So you should name him after that.
In the background, you just hear I.
Aye.
He's not one of them bat-eating fools, is he?
I don't know what you're talking about. We don't really have bats in the Nine Hells, so
It's a stereotype.
that's terrible. And a really foolish stereotype. We don't even have bats, so
Aye.
I.
All right. Any other suggestions then? Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to think on that one.
I have another suggestion. If no one else does.
Sure.
Slanth.
Slanth?
Yes, Slanth. Slanth.
And why Slanth?
It's a really cool lizard name, obviously.
I mean, it is. Ooh.
I'm thinking Olemba. What do you guys think?
I mean,
Aren't you able to like talk to him? Maybe you could ask him. Or her. Is it a boy or a girl or
I don't believe I can talk to him because all I have is speak with animals. I can try, I guess.
is he not an animal?
he's technically a creature, I believe.
Monstrosity.
Yeah.
And that's not a type of animal?
Verbally with beasts. Speak with animals, only beasts too.
Got you.
Aye, well, I'll definitely try to give it a shot.
Question.
When I'm
Sorry. Go ahead.
nah, I was done.
I was going to say, if he's in our party, and he's one of our allies, could I potentially use Psychic Whispers to establish telepathic communication between myself and another? It says one or more creatures.
You
Depends on
can
what
certainly try.
I'd say not try until I can, you know, speak with him to let him know so it doesn't frighten him, her, him/her.
Do you
Just
know... Sorry.
go ahead.
Do you know if it can speak any languages?
Well, it does not know any languages, no.
Well, then I probably can't speak with him. That's unfortunate.
Unless it has its own language, like a lizard language or a basilisk language or something.
Yeah, like lizard speak or...
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know it can turn things to stone, though.
It's pretty cool. It also makes it really useful that I have these 2 scrolls of stone to flesh.
A. Also, DM, how difficult would it be to see if it's a boy or a girl? Because they're pretty.
Well, It's-
Well, they're not like...
it's outside of beast, so I would say that the DC for a lizard would probably be higher, probably a 12 to 15 for someone who's proficient. You would have to be proficient with a nature check. It would be a DC 15 if it were a regular lizard, and I'm going to add plus 5 because it's a monstrosity. So it would be about a DC 20 nature check.
I have high nature. Plus, if we put our minds together, Zafarias.
You see, I'm really good at survival and medicine. I don't know why I took on your accent, but I'm rolling with it. But I don't have nature. That's a big old fat 0.
I have nature. So when I'm not a horse, maybe at our first rest or something.
That is true. I could guide you, and try to help you, I guess. But yeah, we could give it a shot.
Oh, you also have a 0 to nature, so that wouldn't work either.
Unfortunately. I tried to talk to the lords above, but they said it was a nature, not the medicine, so,
You could always divine intervention to get the answer.
I could.
I don't know if you even have that yet.
It's 10th level, but once I get there...
Jax, I might be able to help when we take a rest. I'm pretty knowledgeable on the subject.
Aye, that helps, yeah. We will definitely do that so we can come up with a good name, yeah.
Yeah, and I can...
Let me get this straight. You're knowledgeable about basilisk genitalia.
I don't know shit about basilisk genitalia. I've just read a lot of books.
Oh, so just like general sexing of animals.
Yeah, they usually follow a pattern.
Okay. Interesting. I never would have guessed that you could sex an animal that you've never seen before.
Anybody can sex an animal.
That's Jax's t-shirt.
That, I'm gonna... Hold on, this is gonna get wrote down. Yep, anybody...
That's the t-shirt.
I
That
don't
is the
think I can sex an animal, Jax, but I'm not very bright, so maybe that's why.
Anybody can sex an animal.
That's hilarious.
I mean, that is what it's called. When you're determining the sex of an animal, it's called sexing it. I mean...
That's what I was talking about, totally. Aye, so yeah. When are we taking a break? I mean, I'm not tired or anything, but I can go for a long time.
Well, we've only been traveling, what, about an hour and a half now? Close to it? I mean, we can break any time, but,
I imagine we just wait until we get into the city, the nearest town.
well, that's what, about 2 days, I thought?
Oh, is it? For some reason, I thought it was only a couple of hours.
No, it's at least a day. I just can't remember specifically. Pull up that map.
I say we keep going for a couple more hours and stop for lunch.
Yeah. I can actually fix us some lunch.
Do you have the ingredients? Because if not, we can
Well-
go hunting.
That's what I was going to say. We could forage around and see what's in the area, and I can cook us up something good.
Also, I'm very keen with the plants in the area, so I can always, communicate with the plants and find what we need.
You plan cook them over a fire and consume them. Can you help me out?
Hey, you don't tell them what you're doing.
But while we have a moment, I've actually finished, Rhonda, I finished identifying your items here.
Oh.
So, this one, I'll hold up the helm. Helm of teleportation. Does exactly what it sounds like.
It teleports anyone who wears it?
Yes, they can teleport. It's only got a couple of charges, but it can be reset. There's also this thing. I'll hold up the wand. It's called a Wand of Wonder, and I assume it's because when you point it at something, you're going to wonder what happens because it's random. It's best described as chaotic magic.
That's pretty fun.
I'll hand that to you. Then I'll hold up the staff. Like this is kind of terrifying. Staff of Withering. It does all your normal staffy boy things, but it also inflicts necrotic damage as well. Rather powerful. It also there's also a secondary effect once you hit something, but that's kind of a surprise. And then this, I'll hold up the rapier. It is called the Rapier of Wounding. In summation, every time you hit something with this, it wounds it, and every time you wound a creature, it progressively gets stronger and stronger and stronger. The more you wound, the more damage it does.
Oh.
And then, of course, this is just a very fine dagger, and this is just well-made scale mail.
Is the rapier of wounding? Is it like forever? It just goes up forever?
Let's see.
I'm sure it's not that strong.
So, interestingly, if you wound someone with the rapier, it does not last forever. However, it cannot be recovered through medicinal means until the creature has rested.
Jesus.
That's pretty. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. But this scale mail here, I mean, no offense, your armor looks pretty nice, but this looks like a little shinier and everything. Do you want this? I can't really use this.
You don't want it at all?
Not particularly. I can't really use it. I've already gotten. I rip up my shirt. I've already got some mail underneath my clothes, so, and it's mithril, so it's nice and quiet for all the stuff that I like to keep.
In that case, I'll gladly take it if you're willing to give it up.
Yeah, sure. Unless any of you guys want it, but I mean,
I don't particularly use any kind of
yeah,
armor,
it's pretty heavy.
but
I'm good, no?
Yeah, go for it, Cerberus.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And I'll take the scale mail and fuck it, I'll start putting it on right now.
while for magical items, Orandi, I think these would work well for you. when I investigated the wizard, he had 2 daggers of venom.
Oh.
Apparently, you can. It's a one-time use, but you can inflict poison damage on a target. I have 2 of those, and oh, that's right. It's not in D&D Beyond. I also have this dagger with a blood rune in it, and I kind of hold it up and show her the rune.
That's pretty cool.
If you hit with this, you can kind of get some life force back from your target.
Every time I hit?
I can't remember.
Should be on a critical.
On a critical. So if you hit,
Still pretty cool.
it's you can kind of get some life back.
Yeah, which given recent events, I'm definitely interested in that.
I use daggers, but I mean, I don't really have. I think I'd only like to keep 1 dagger of venom, but the other 2 are yours if you want them, since you seem more happy.
Sure, if you're not concerned about it. Honestly, I do have a +2 dagger, as well. This one here. It's pretty nice. It's very sharp. Actually, fun fact, doesn't ever need to be sharpened again.
Oh.
Yeah, so it requires very little to no upkeep. If you'd want to trade that for those.
Sure, I'll take a sharp dagger.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll take red dagger venom.
Would my armor be on at this point?
I think it takes like what 10 minutes to dawn, and then a minute to.
I would say, yeah, you would be armored up.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Armor class of 20, baby.
Whoop whoop.
Yay.
Yay.
And,
Oh. Are you able to identify potions?
I believe so.
I grabbed these off his body as well. I don't know what they are though, so and I'll hand them over.
As I'm like pulling on a boot, I'm like, okay. Plop back down, cross leg, book back open, going back at it.
So yeah, and that dagger, when you crit, it steals life, and you heal equal to the damage you deal.
that's pretty nice.
Yeah. So you got that.
While they're exchanging items for identification, I'm going to get up onto the front of the cart and kind of like lean forward and just kind of like shove something into Jax's bag, which I imagine is like on him somehow.
That's really up to Jax.
Yeah, Jax, do you have like a separate bag for me to put a secret surprise present into?
When I'm like this, I'll have my bags like as like a saddle bags over my back. So
Okay, cool.
Then I'm gonna do that, and I'll like pat him on the rump, and I'll say, "That's for you for later."
ooh. Even though you can hear me talk, I purposefully sound like a horse.
Wait, like in her mental thing, you make horse sound?
Yes.
That's funny.
Delightful.
Okay.
And
What about-
I think there's only one other thing is this staff of withering. I know it's kind of creepy with the hand like crumpled up and everything. But apparently, I mean, it looks like strong wood. I think it could be used as a regular staff. Delpharis, what kind of staff do you have currently? Like, what kind of weaponry are you using?
Right now, I'm just using a normal staff. I kind of got it modified, so it does a little bit more damage if I kind of lethally hit something.
I'll be right back.
It's just a normal staff, pretty much.
Okay, because this stuff actually, I think looking at it, it looks like it does the same amount of damage, as one of these daggers of venom, but it actually does it 3 times.
Oh,
3 times per day?
choose.
I'm sorry, say that again?
So you can kind of choose when you want to deliver the extra little punch.
Yeah. But yeah, it's 2d10 of damage, and then it does have a special extra effect, I guess, that Cerberus mentioned. Something about if they're not very constituted, then they struggle, they wither on things that require their strength or constitution to be, so all of that said, it's really cool and I could use it, but I think you might be able to use it better. But I've got my eye on something that you've got, and I was wondering if you might want to trade.
And what pray tell would you be interested in?
It's a really pretty cloak, my dude, and it matches the lacing on my boots so well.
You see, I thought about it. I really did. I thought about you. But the reason I chose to, because it does require some attuning to get used to. But say we're in the pinch, and while I'm pretty fast, what if I can't get to one of you before you die? Or if I need to get one of you out and then heal you. Like there's too much going on in the field, and I can't move very fast dragging one of you. I could just...
That is a really good point, actually.
Yeah. So that was my thought with that one. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of torn.
No, I think your reasoning makes a lot of sense. I didn't think about it that way, actually.
Yeah, that's... I would like to go offense, but, we're still new and figuring out how we all drag together, so...
Yeah.
I think I have safety first in mind.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think you could use the utility very well.
So perhaps we could trade once things...
So far as...
Yes.
We're forgetting, well, so far as General Ronnie, you're also forgetting the helm. It does not cast Thunderstep. It does not cast Misty Step. It casts teleportation.
Yes, but it takes a while for that to go through, right? I think it takes like 10 minutes or something. You can't really use that in battle.
The spell teleport can be used instantaneously.
But teleport...
Can?
Wrong, because this is more arcane magic. It's more of like a long distance, correct? So like we could teleport from here to my home if we wanted.
So going with the helm allows you to cast teleport.
Mm-hmm.
Teleport is a 7th level conjuration spell. Casting time 1 action, range only 10 feet, but it's instantaneous and it can take up to 8 people with it.
Oh shit! So it's not the teleport.
I was not aware of that.
That is not the teleport I was thinking of. I thought it was legit, like teleport. Okay.
This can take all of us at the same time.
Anywhere.
That you've been.
Oh no, it is the one I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that it's not teleportation circle. It's teleport.
The Big Daddy. Yeah.
Well, never mind then. I've got everything that I need. You can definitely keep that, I'll tell you what. And have the staff just because I think it looks really cool and creepy, and you look too friendly. So you need something, give a little ominous vibe or something, So
All right. I will go ahead and take the staff. But yeah, that was also was what I was thinking. It only lets you teleport about 500 feet, so I took that instead of the helmet. So, but
well, you didn't know about the helmet.
I
But-
did or no, you had it.
Yeah, it came out of the contract room. Yeah.
None of that happened.
But yeah, I do think you make a very good point that it is incredibly useful for you to have for utility purposes. Speaking of which, I wanted to bring up about the diamonds, that it might be a good idea for us to like individually wear them. How many do we have? So I think I bought 2, right?
We have a total of. Oh, I know it's in here. We have. Looking for a diamond. We have 3 currently.
Okay, so like 1 for each of us. Because I don't think any of us can revive you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I was thinking it might be easier. I know they're not huge, but just for us to like have them on our person somewhere, like maybe like on a necklace or something underneath our shirts, so that way you could have easy access to them. You'd know where everybody's diamonds are, and you wouldn't have to keep track of them and dig around in your bag to find something.
That's true.
Also, I could make us matching necklaces.
The other thing about that too is theft. So if your bag gets stolen, you don't have 900 gold's worth of diamonds in one bag.
That's also a good point.
Yeah.
The clouds around us.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I was actually going to talk to people about that, maybe try and disperse that. So it is kind of readily available, but yeah, I mean, if that's something you want to do, I'm down with that.
Cool. So I have a little bit of rope, and I could like fashion a little kind of cage thing out of, if I like pull the rope apart and then tie it up, knot it up carefully. I could make like some little cage diamond bracelets or necklaces or something for the 3 of us. I don't know if we want to do that now on the way, but I'd be happy just to do that. And then once we get into town, we could maybe purchase something a little bit more sturdy.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do, I would just say make sure that's kind of lower so you can, put it in your shirt so nobody's like, hey, look, I've got the diamond.
I'm actually thinking about doing like an earring or something like that I can just hide under my hair, or I'm not entirely sure yet.
Cool.
But I don't have much to hide jewelry under, so.
I could just hide mine in my hat. I have some compartments in there.
That's a pretty cool sounding hat, Jax.
Just made it up on the spot, yeah?
Wow.
Cerberus, while we're kind of trading items here, I know you get kind of into melee sometimes. My old staff, I have it modified, so it kind of deals a little extra damage a little more frequently with the serrated blade on the top of it. Is that something you might want to use, possibly?
I appreciate the gesture, but this one has kind of sentimental value because it holds my focus.
Mm.
But in addition, I'll be honest, I can't hit the broadside of a barn with the thing. I'm better with the blade. I don't even carry one, but I'm better with one.
Well,
All right.
if that's the case, would you like this sword? I don't really use swords. I use daggers more often.
Is it a short sword?
It's a rapier.
I was never trained in that. I appreciate it though. I was only trained in the long sword and short sword.
Well, maybe we could practice sometime, and I'd show you, and then maybe eventually you'll get the hang of it.
Sure, I wouldn't mind that.
I'll hang on to it until then, just because I've got the magic pumpkin back.
Maybe Jax might want to use my staff. Possibly. I know we just got that moon sickle, so. But we'll see once we break for a little bit.
Hey, worst case scenario, we could always sell them. I mean, hell, I could just teleport over to Zelda's and sell them for a slightly higher price since everything's expensive there.
Not overriding Dan's statement, but you are proficient in martial weapons. So you do actually... If you're doing it for roleplay purposes, that's great, but you are proficient with the rapier.
I thought rapier had a specific proficiency.
It's martial.
Okay. Technically, I could use it. I'll do it for roleplay purposes, though, because
Sure.
the war magic is for magic. I don't want to...
Yeah, I think that proficiency comes from your 1 level in fighter.
Yep.
It does, and I forgot about that. For roleplay purposes, though, I won't take the rapier.
Okay.
I actually forgot that I was fighter.
I don't use it. I did it for the armor. That's it.
Don't you have, like, other ability... Can't you, like... It's not action surge you have, it's the other one where you can... Second
I
wind.
can, I can second wind at any point. I haven't needed it yet.
Hi, that's what I'm for. I'm your second wind.
Well, with your food, I haven't taken much damage.
Dude, the food has helped so much. Even with, like, healing you guys, it's like, alright, I can do damage this turn instead of healing and then heal next turn. It's great. But kind of in ode to what you were saying earlier, no one can revive me. That's kind of why I've been carrying most of the healing potions. I have 3 on me total. So if anybody wants one, they can have one. But I'd like to keep at least 1 or 2.
1 or 2, yeah, at the very least. I'm fine on as far as healing potions go. By the way, I did want to offer, just for now, since you guys, this pumpkin can hold a lot of stuff. Do you want me to just take your old scale mail and your old staff and just put it in the pumpkin so you guys don't have to worry about the weight of it?
Sure, I wouldn't mind that at all. It's heavy as hell.
Pumpkin with piercing, because I don't. The end of my old staff has a large serrated blade on the end of it.
It'll be fine, don't worry about it. I just put it in the other way. It just can't be pierced from the outside, is the main thing.
It's alright, I'll carry both.
Okay.
Maybe I can switch between the 2. Have some fun.
Dual wielding.
Ooh, dual wielding staves. I can do that.
Dual wielding requires that the weapon have the light property unless you take, like a feat for it. So, both weapons have to be light weapons, which staffs are not. They're versatile weapons.
I think actually, wait, is the Staff of Withering a staff or a quarter staff?
It's a staff.
Magic quarter staff.
Yeah,
Which
I
I
have,
think might be light.
but
Just like chop the end off of your other staff, and then you'll have 2 quarter staffs.
I could just modify the end of the withering, the staff of withering. I might do that when we get to a point we can do that. And just sell the old one. Unless Jax wants it, of course, but we'll see.
Yeah, so a quarterstaff it's versatile, so it can be used to just in one hand.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I don't know if you had your push to talk on, or maybe it just... messed
Oh.
up the line.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
it's versatile, which means it can be used 1 or 2-handed, but to have both in each hand, the staves would have to have the light property.
Aye, so yeah, I'm about ready for a break, I'd say. Been slaving all day as a horse, and
He says to Arandi.
So, I guess Jax needs to, like, rest or something? A whiner. Yeah, do you guys want to pull over, like, here, kind of off the way? Looks like there's a little clearing, sort of, off the road.
Sure, yeah. Maybe we can look around and see what we can muster up for lunch.
And I'll tell Jax telepathically that he can go to the little dairy thing.
Okay. So you guys pull off on the side of the road. It's getting on. You guys are headed into mid-afternoon.
Alright,
Yeah, it's about noon. That being said, who has the map?
I guess Cerberus, right?
Hi.
Do I have the map? I think, okay, I guess I got the map. I got the map! I have the physical map.
Map in the cart, so I figured one of us would have it.
Yeah, so you guys are about a quarter of the way to Rosenald. Little less. Judging from the provincial map. So it's gonna take you about a day and a half ish. If I'm correct. Let me.
Is that normal speed?
Yeah, it's gonna take about 2.5 days, 2.25 days.
Okay.
You can go faster, but your perception checks will be a disadvantage.
Right.
Things like that. So you could bump it up a little bit.
Okay.
What kind of environment are we in? It's a forest, right?
It is not. You guys are presently there's mire around Zealous, and then it kind of tapers out into grasslands. But you can see on the horizon's edge, probably where you're gonna end up in a few hours. The land sort of darkens. None of you have traveled east from Zealous. Like, east would have been Zealous would have been the easternmost point for most of you.
Even me?
Yes. Yeah, there's not whole much east of Zealous. You're west. You're from the west.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you would have stopped in Zealous. Probably not a whole lot of reason for Zell to have traveled farther east than Zealous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're not entirely sure what kind of terrain you're coming upon. But you do know that the ground is not the driest ground, even though it hasn't rained in a couple of days.
All right, I shape back into Jax. Stretch.
Yeah, you can shave about half a day's worth of travel off if you guys book it. If you're going to go get horses.
I forgot what we were doing.
Yeah.
Are we breaking now, or are we continuing?
It's entirely up to you guys.
Hi, so go ahead.
You shapeshift out of it, so that would be a break, I guess. Unless you don't shapeshift out, so.
Yeah, I mean, if after 2 hours, so it depends. How many... You can rest as a horse, but that means that if you rest as a horse, then you have an hour of walking and then an hour of resting. So you'll maintain, if you do that, you'll maintain your wild shapes in perpetuity. So as soon as you come out of horse, you'll still have 2, if for combat or whatever. But I would consider that pace slow. If you want to burn through 4 hours of travel as a horse and then rest, I would consider that fast. And then if you want to do 2 hours of a horse and then rest, and then 2 hours of horse and then rest, and then 2 hours of a horse and then rest, I would consider that like a normal pace. It's just saying, like, the number of wild shapes you have during the rest is going to determine how fast you guys are moving. So if you want 1 wild shape per rest, you're traveling at normal speed. If you want 0 wild shapes during your rest, you're traveling fast.
How far are we from that break in terrain? You said about an hour, I thought.
It'd be based on the terrain that you're traveling through now. It'd be a couple of hours, but technically it's about between 3 and 4 miles off, based on the curvature of the Earth. Or well, not the Earth, the planet. Human sight range in Flatland is about 3 miles.
So I tap Jax before he drops the horse, and I'll just say, Orandi, if you could, so it looks like we've got about 2 or 3 hours until that break, and I point off to the direction where the landscape changes. If we want to get there and rest, or we can rest here before it drops its form. But that would be up to you guys.
Are we just doing a short rest about an hour and then get back on the road? Because if that's the case, we might as well just do it now, because we don't want Jax is doing a lot of work. We don't want to exhaust the man.
That's true.
Agreed.
I am doing a lot of work, yeah.
Alright, so we can rest here.
Oh, Jax, take a look at what I gave you in your pack while we're hanging out.
Yeah. So I'm out of horse right now, right?
Yeah. So at this point, you guys would have traveled for about 4-ish hours. So you probably have no wild shapes during this specific rest, just based on the distance you've got.
Question. I was reading up on this. What I was gonna try to do was like be out for a few minutes and do some stuff, and then go back, use my second shape to go back into horse, and then rest while in horse to get the shapes back. Will that work?
Yeah, I'll allow that. So that way you have an hour and then 2 wild shapes left. Yeah, that sounds fine.
Cool. I'll reach into my bag and pull out the item.
What item did you give him?
I just messaged it to him. It's the Wand of Wonders.
Oh, hey, Cerberus, what were those 2 potions? 2 random potions.
Also,
yeah.
I meant to talk to you guys about that. Basic rules, page 59. It's not even in the DMG. Any potion, you can find out what it does with a slight taste.
Oh. Alright, so then I'll just both of them and see what they do.
Awesome. Can you remind me what I gave you?
It was just 2 random... There's the 2 potions that were on...
I think one was like giant strength or something, right?
Well, I have that one. This was off of...
Oh, this is different.
I can't remember his name. Rugo. These were the 2 potions off of Rugo's body.
Gotcha. Okay. One is a thin, watery liquid that is silver. It's a large bottle that can be swigged from several times. You taste a little bit, and you feel your eyes go cross for just a second. The potion makes you forget how to read.
Oh.
Permanently.
Oh. So I'm guessing it's got about 3 drink?
About 3. This is a homebrew potion, so you'll have to add it as a custom item.
Okay.
Pick a random wizard, not me.
Hey Cerberus, I have this drink.
Orokus.
Hey.
The other one is a kind of swirly white liquid in like it's almost like a mini stein or tankard. It's sealed. You pop it open, take a little sip, and immediately you begin to feel your gear and clothing start to sag through your body before it kind of reasserts itself. This one, yeah, we're getting into some weird stuff. This one makes the drinker's body insubstantial. Nothing they're carrying, it just specifically makes your body no longer a substance. Temporarily. For a round.
Dragon lands on you, and you're just like, and jello mode.
Here's the thing. It would instantly doff your armor.
Yeah, you'd be So for me, it'd be okay, but none of you.
Okay,
Oh,
you're pretty fast. I'm sure you can trick your way into safety.
Yeah.
I was like, you wouldn't fight a naked man, would you?
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right.
I'm giving you guys way too much stuff. It's gonna be fun because eventually, like, especially consumables are so much fun. But I need to start worrying about how I've designed the reward system for this campaign. It's fine, like.
Bye.
But yeah, so you guys rest on the side of the road, taste some potions.
Yeah,
I would go ahead.
Okay. You can go ahead.
I would like to cast Wand of Wonder on Cerberus.
Okay, you use the Wand of Wonder on Cerberus.
Oh boy.
All right, I'm rolling 100 right now.
Wait, what are you casting? Which of the spells?
It- It's a D100. I thought you just
It
roll
is.
a D100.
It's-
Cast a spell, and on top of that, you roll a d100 for a wild magic effect.
Wait.
It has like a list of spells that you can cast from, and you can cast, I think, one of those per day, or something.
Has 7 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend one of its charges and choose a target. The target can be a creature or object. Just roll D100 to consult the following table to.
Yeah,
to
you
display
don't
what
cast a specific spell with it. It just generates 100 random things.
That was weird. When I had it in my inventory, it had like a list of spells, and I don't have any of the spells, but it had a list of spells.
It says.
A little box next to it.
It says right here, if the effect causes you to cast a spell from the wand, the spell's save DC is 15. If the spell normally has a range, it becomes 120. If the effect covers an area, you must center the spell. If an effect has multiple subjects, it doesn't. It just says you basically cast a spell, whatever it is.
Oof.
Yeah.
Revivify.
Oh yeah, so it has at the top. You see, it says darkness, detect thoughts, enlarge, reduce, fairy fire, fireball.
Oh yeah.
So you expend one of the charges, and it has one charge of each of these. So you would expend one charge as one spell, was my understanding.
Those spells are in the D100. Like for example, you cast Gust of Wind is one of them, and that's one of the spells up at the top. So I imagine that means that if you cast like Gust of Wind, you can't cast Gust of Wind again. Maybe. I don't know.
The reason that those are there is specifically so you can see the spell effects. They're just it's the list so you can see what the spell does.
Got you.
Sorry.
All right.
Because other wands would other objects that have charges that let you cast things would normally have a thing there for what you're going to cast and how many charges it takes. That's just so you can see the effects. It would be this item specific.
You ready?
Hit me.
Oh boy.
I rolled a 0 on a D10 is wait. I rolled a 40 and a 0. So I mean it's 40 or 50.
It's 40.
Cool. Let's see. 30. Oh no. 37 to 46 is you cast lightning bolt.
Oh shit.
Jax!
I was Googling this just in case. If it says cast a spell, can I counterspell it?
Oh.
Yes. I will
I
allow
will
that.
do so.
Okay. I believe it instantly counterspells, right?
Yes, if it's 3rd level, so yep.
Okay, so you've identified the spell. You see out of the corner of your eye, I assume you're like reading or something. You see out of the corner of your eye the arc of lightning begin to head your direction, and you just flip a hand up, and the lightning just curves.
I imagine Cerberus having like that gut reaction of "Not my balls."
That's exactly what it was.
Not the ball.
I was just kind of dumbfounded, like, what the fuck was that?
Oh, I didn't know it did that. I thought it was something else. I'm sorry.
It does random shit.
Could I roll an insight check on Jax?
If you would like. I'm gonna narrate it the way that insight checks are supposed to be done, though.
4.
4. Jax is a wily individual, and his intentions are often hard to read. But also, you're perfectly aware that his understanding of arcane things is fairly limited. It's incredibly hard to tell whether he really just thought it did something else, or if he was just trying some shit. Like, hard to read. Probably one of the hardest people to read in your direct group. Actually, definitely the hardest person to understand the intentions of in this group.
Well, yeah, that's why I gave him the Wand of Wonders. It's like made for him.
I do apologize. I do apologize, and I just instantly turn to Zafarius and cast it again.
No.
Okay,
Too
go
late.
ahead and roll your T100.
No. I'm watching. I'm gonna duck out.
26.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you cast Stinking
Any
Cloud.
reaction, Selfarius?
Read me Stinking Cloud?
It's one of my favorite spells.
You cast a 20-foot radius sphere of yellow, nauseating gas centered on a point within range, which is around Zafarius. The
Okay.
couch.
Well, 20 foot covers the entire area that all of you are in.
I'll counterspell it again.
Cool.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Can I
So,
try and one?
firstly, the wand turns, and you guys immediately hear. And Cerberus snaps, and this tiny, thin stream of green, like, cloud that begins to push its way out of the end of the wand immediately sucks back in. The wand puckers a little bit, and
Okay.
yeah, if you want to attempt to make a grapple, it would be it's technically a grapple, so it'd be your athletics versus his athletics or acrobatics, his choice.
Wouldn't it? I'm
Wait.
just trying.
Yeah, sure, but it's a grapple. Like a disarm is a grapple check.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Okay. Not bad. 16.
16
Against my acrobatics?
or athletics, whichever you pick.
Yikes. So +1. Alright, what a 19.
Ah man.
So the thing sucks back in, and Jax just like looks at it, and your hand swishes through the air.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm done.
Jax, I will take that back. If you cannot learn to be responsible, I thought we were all adults here.
Okay,
It occurs
I'm...
to me that I don't actually know how dwarf aging works.
Look,
But you are acting very infantile.
you can have fun, just maybe not with.
At
Look-
enemies.
Okay, I get it.
And Jax, it works on an inanimate object, so you could fire it at a tree if you needed to.
Aye, noted. Yes, okay, I'll put it away. And I put it away.
I'm gonna look around. What kind of food is around us, if there is any?
Food. Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Actually, I think I have a check for this to see.
Oh,
Give me-
are we foraging for our lunch? I'd love to help if that's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Go
Then
for-
I'm going to go and I'm going to grab some like leaves of different kinds, and I'm going to see if there are any kind of berries or anything. I'll try and get those.
It would be a D20 with either your nature or survival modifier plus proficiency with an herbalism kit.
Is that me?
Anybody who wants to look.
I can
Okay.
speak with plants, guys. I can just ask them questions.
I would give you advantage on talking to plants.
I'm just gonna since I just spent 2 third-level spell slots, I'm just gonna sit my ass in the cart and read my spell book real quick and do some arcane recovery.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, did you say nature or
Survival.
Nature or survival. And
either?
yeah, and you can add your proficiency bonus if you're proficient with the herbalism kit.
Ooh, wait. Damn.
Ooh, I am.
Do you
That's-
have?
What?
Do you have one? That's the thing.
Oof, man. Maybe
I
not.
have one.
Oh, I don't have one now.
Do I get to choose nature or survival?
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure because I think it
That's
would
why
be
the
nice.
words that came out of my mouth were nature or survival.
The reason is because I'm good at one and not good at the other, and I think for this particular instance, it would be more fun if I used my survival,
Go
which
for
is a 4.
Yeah, that's what mine is.
And I'm specifying ahead of time that I wanted to grab leaves and berries. And if there's any kind of wild game that I can try and kill, I'll also try and get like a squirrel or rabbit or something.
Sure. So a d20 tells me what you found, and the nature or survival is how many 5x5 square feet of space is what you get.
Oh,
Okay. Are we adding our rolls together, or are we each doing it separately?
I was just about to want to pull a tandem survival here.
And if you want instead to find meat, that would be animal handling.
Hey, I think I should do both rolls. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess I could just add mine to anybody else's.
This is going to cover, so each roll is going to cover about an hour of foraging.
So yeah, you can borrow my herbalism kits. I just need it back, and I can help you, Jax, and maybe we can go see what we can find.
So 2 rolls to total, correct?
2 rolls, and I will guide you on both.
Does light foraging? Oh wait, no. Never mind. I can't do that as a horse. Yeah. So I guess I'll just do this outside of a horse.
Okay.
And you said you're rolling. Are
So
you rolling? So.
No, I'll let you borrow my herbalism kit, so you can make both rolls, and then I'll help you, so you get my modifier, and then I'll guide you on both.
It's gonna be 30 plus. Watch. Okay. So, am I getting your survival too, Randy? Or are you doing your own roll?
you can. I'll do my own roll.
True. Yeah.
For the sake of our lunch.
Okay. So I have a +7 plus your +4, and then I get +3 proficiency, right, for the herbalism kit.
yes.
So +14 currently, and I get D4. Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Rolled a 5. And a 1. Yikes. So 6 plus 14, 20. Dirty.
Not
Dirty
bad.
20. You find some sugar cane.
Ooh.
So I need. So it's a d20 for what you find, and then all of that is how many 5x5 squares you find. So roll me a d20 just to see what you find, because that's
20.
okay. Yeah, you find an entire grove of wild sugar cane in this kind of swampy area. And then gathering. Do.
Okay.
Wow, that's a lot. Give me a D10.
4.
4. Oh, I'm sorry. A D20 with all of that stuff. So your survival and your plus. You got a dirty 20, right? I'll just use the same roll. You
Yep.
get 8. You harvest. I believe it's 8. Yeah, 8 pounds of sugar. somehow in the course of an hour.
Okay.
And then if you'd like to spend another hour, you can find animals if you want to find animals.
Yeah. I mean, you guys want to do that?
I mean, I'll help you, yeah. Because the one will cover drinks, and then we just need stuff.
Jax, do you eat meat?
I don't not eat meat.
Well, like, doesn't your druidic order have a whole thing about, like, killing?
I mean, probably, but I think we've determined that I'm no longer a part of that. So I do what I want at this point. I live my own life, and you should too.
Jax, how old are you?
That's for me to know, and you not to know.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
When me and Jax go wander off, I'm just gonna... I won't tell her, but I am curious.
I'm 114.
Alright.
I'm
Sure.
old. I'm old enough. Yeah.
I believe him.
I was gonna say, if you do not roll an insight,
Roll an insight check.
Okay. Okay. That's 23.
23. No, he's very matter of fact about it. He seems he strides pretty confidently into the randomness with you. He seems pretty on point with this answer.
Alright, cool. I just give him a nod, and I was like, I was just curious. I won't tell her, by the way. That's fun.
I appreciate it. I don't really care, really. I was just, just joking.
Yeah. Oh, I like it.
All right. So, you're looking for animals.
All right. I don't use the herbalism kit part, right?
No, this would just be a straight animal handling check.
Which I can still help you, because you still get a +4 and a D4.
Has Jax ever seen, like, an animal get killed and cooked for meat, though? Like, I'm a little concerned for your, like, mental health here, friend.
I mean, yeah, like that's how they grew up. But obviously, you form your own opinions about things, and
Well, an opinion is different from, like, watching a creature, like a fluffy squirrel, get gutted for the first time.
I mean,
It's
he
both-
might find an animal that he can get resources from that doesn't necessarily have to be killed, unless he elects to kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it could already be killed.
keep in mind, I'm also not a goody two shoes either.
Well, it's not about being a goody two shoes. It's about, like, sometimes seeing guts for the first time is a little traumatic.
Roll the roll.
So you said you had 11 plus the D4. I rolled a 6, so that's a 17 plus 4, so 21.
21. You find a single solitary goat covered in mud, just shaking in the swamp.
Oh.
You are aware that you can get milk from a goat. You can also get meat from a goat, depending on what you would like to do.
It's just a single little goat.
Hi, so hear me out.
It's got like bug eyes.
Hear me out. I can befriend the goat, okay? And we can take the goat with us and get milk from it,
Mm-hmm.
And then, if we get in a bind, then we can, do what needs to be done. I don't particularly want to do it, but, if it needs to come to that, we can. But who doesn't like to have a pet goat?
I mean, he is cold. And
He is cold, yes.
the only issue is we'd be lugging around the goat.
Warm him up over the fire.
Goats can walk.
Here's the thing that
Hey.
gets me, is you guys anticipate getting milk from a goat, and yet have called him a he twice.
Oh, yeah, we don't... Can I see what if it's
It's a female goat.
Okay,
Arguably the more useful kind of goat.
yes.
I think this is good. I mean, I'm, Like I'm one with the animals. Like this makes sense. I would like to have a pet goat as well. Plus, it provides milk, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna
So-
have a menagerie by the time we hit level 10.
Even if we have to, even if we want to make some kind of goat meal tomorrow, that's fine, perhaps. But for the time being, we can definitely get some nice, good milk to drink. Plus, we have that sugar to make it a little sugary.
Well, with the sugar, I can actually make tea. Which, to that point, this is a special kind of tea. It can. It is a special kind of tea, but say we get too happy searching for things, this tea can recover exhaustion from looking too hard, pretty much.
Aye, yeah, but what I was saying though, I don't know if you ever had sugar milk, but I won't go into where I've had it before either. But yeah, the sugar milk, it's a delicacy.
All right. Well.
Sure.
All right.
All right, do I have to make it like another animal handling check to see if I can wrangle the goat?
Yes.
Hey, would you like to pat me on the back and help me with this one?
Dragon be with you. I just tap him on the head.
17 natural, so that's 28 plus 1, so 29.
29. Yeah, you do manage to snag it. It immediately tries to escape. Obviously, it's like meh, meh, meh. And like it's mostly stuck in the mud, so it's not that hard. Really, it's just a goat standing entirely still, screaming as you put like a loose rope around its neck. That's kind of.
And I like pat its like back of its head and neck, like, oh, calm down, little one. I know you're scared. Calm down. Yeah, I just pick it up, start
Okay.
walking away.
After all of your work, Jax, take a single point of exhaustion for working hard in the field for a couple of hours.
And I'll get to making some of that good tea to get rid of that.
Do you have tea?
I do actually. I bought some tea from. I have it from the sweet tea I made at the.
Okay. How much tea do you have in pounds?
I think it is exactly 5, so I'll be using.
Cool. Then that'll be all of it.
Just for you, Jax.
What is isn't there? I'll just look it up.
Hmm.
Nothing. I was just looking up the effects of exhaustion again. I'll Google it.
Yeah, you just have disadvantage on skill checks.
So I need to actually roll to make that real quick.
Hey, well, we're back anyway, so if we're gonna take another hour to rest, hopefully, I'll shapeshift into a horse and then lay down and. We're actually horses stand up.
Horses sleep standing up, I believe.
I think they can lay down, but I'm just gonna sleep standing up.
Yeah, they have a mechanism that allows their legs to lock into place, so that they don't have to expend muscular energy in order to. Yeah, I think that's why. Because if a horse, that's the reason that you put a horse down if it like breaks its legs, is it can't do that same standing up thing to sleep if it only has 3 legs. So you would just slowly watch the horse die of exhaustion. Yeah. Don't remember why I know that vaguely. I could be wrong. I'm sure someone will tell me I'm wrong someday. But as far as I'm aware,
Sounds good to me.
that's why horses have to have all 4 legs.
So I only rolled a 5, unfortunately. So I only made 3 servings of that tea. So I'll give 1 serving to Jax, and then I've just got.
Okay, you got some sweet tea and in a. Do you want to use a water skin? Like.
Yeah.
Cool. And I assume also that you guys have made a fire now at this point.
Yep.
Okay. Just important to remember that you're visible from range.
Yeah. This is really.
But that being said, towards the end of your rest, you fix Jax. he rests as a horse for a little bit. You guys begin to hear a sound. You just hear.
I'll look.
You guys look over. There's about 3 or 4 giant toads. They're about 400-ish feet off, just plopping through the mud towards the fire. They're a ways away.
Perhaps it would be time to go. I don't particularly want to dig around. Well, these are neat though.
But are these the same kind of giant toads that Jack
Probably.
uses?
Probably.
I'd rather not fight them.
I mean, Jax, you could also use your Wand of Wonder. Now would be to do it.
I'm sleeping, by the way. I'm a horse sleeping, standing up.
Oh, is he still asleep?
Yeah. Well, no, this is after his rest, so it would be.
Oh, it's after the rest?
It's the tail end of your rest, yes.
Yeah, but, I mean, is Arandi? I mean, I assume that she can hear.
Arandi's like whittling a stick.
I mean, I'm a horse, so I'm not going to be able to use it, but I'm assuming I'm talking through Arandi since it hasn't been 4 hours yet,
He's a horse, so he can't use a wand.
Alright. Well, let's just hightail it out of here then. 'Cause
I mean, you can use my wand, though. You can take it out of my bag.
I mean, I don't want to use the wand I gave you. That's why I gave it to you.
Okay.
And also, are we supposed to tie this like goat to the back of the cart?
Is there not room in the cart?
You gonna put a goat in the cart with us?
Okay, you can tie the goat on my back if you'd like.
I mean, it's got legs. It could just walk.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
it be slow. Because we kind of want.
What'd you say?
It might be slow though. It might slow us down because we kind of want to get out of here fairly quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I imagine it could just, sit on one of your laps or something. It's not that big. It's just a goat.
Goats and let's go.
All right, so y'all hop in the cart. The giant toads, like, do you leave your campfire going? The giant toads just kind of like go up to it, blink a couple times, and then like leave it.
I won't leave it. I would put it out. So
Okay,
it doesn't-
and they just hang out near the smoke and then fuckity fuck off. It was of note and interest for a moment, but they are toads. Yeah, you guys continue to make your journey. It is at this point that you get to, after a few hours, you get to the edge of the swamp. Swamp. Deep swamp. There is a singular, the sort of marshy, gravelly road gives way to what looks to be like a constructed wooden road. It's essentially like a lattice of timbers and things that have been carved to kind of appear as a facsimile of a surface that a wagon can travel on. It's not in the best repair, and it does begin to wind its way into deeper marsh with these sort of low-hanging trees and some things of that nature, but visibility distance-wise is pretty cut off here. This is something you guys have heard about. So to the west are the Shivering Marshes, which lead all the way to Sleepy Dinkum and Lake Yorath. The bogs headed east are known as Longbog, because it is a particularly arduous trek, and they extend mostly north until you get to I believe it's the Turtlemere Woods, where they kind of break into like coastal grassland and then beaches. This is what you'll be traveling through for a remainder of the day. The road's fairly straightforward, so I'm not gonna have you guys get lost unless you would like to attempt to shave off time by traveling through the swamp instead, to kind of make a 45-degree angle toward Rosenald. Otherwise, it's going to take you 2.5 days.
I mean, I'm full on everything now. I'm good to go. I don't care what we do.
Well, I could try and speak with the road spirit, to see if I can see what's in the area, or ask for safe travel, or maybe faster travel, possibly, or even the spirits of. Are there any trees around?
Yeah, there are some kind of cypress-like trees.
And I can attempt to reach out, and they may be able to guide us through.
I have something similar, yeah? I'm speaking to Randy, by the way.
Yeah. We would just need to stop for me to do that. But it's up to you guys.
It's okay with me.
I'm fine with this.
All right. I will go ahead and head towards a. We'll do the tree first. Yeah. Place my hand on it and kind of. Spirits of and around this tree. We are in need of your guidance, of your way to point us on the right path. If you can you aid us?
Go ahead and make a nature check.
Can I give him my modifier?
Are you assisting?
If I can, then yes. Well, no, I'm a horse, so maybe not.
I would say probably in this circumstance, no. But roll me a perception check.
Me
or Jack?
Jax.
Okay. Guidance.
6 + 4, 10.
10.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. So that's 20. Yeah, 22.
22. You don't specifically experience anything.
Okay.
Talking to a tree. And Jax, you notice that the longer that this goes on, there's movement kind of out of the corner of your horse eye. You kind of look up into the tree and you see something. You're not entirely sure what, because it sort of evades your vision. But for a split second, you swear you can see a tiny black silhouette with a white face just hanging up in the tree, like one of them that disappears behind a branch.
Like a cacao monkey?
Not really like a monkey, more like a humanoid silhouette that's only, I mean, it's tiny, about maybe like 6 inches tall.
So I can see it, I just barely as a All right, well, I mean, what can I do? I want to investigate it further, but yeah, I'm kind of a horse. And...
Okay.
I'll relay it. I'll relay it to the party.
So, like, Jack says that he sees some kind of thing in the tree.
I guess I'll look up, see if I can see it.
You see nothing.
Oh, okay.
He might be horse hallucinating. Horse hallucinating.
Well, it's weird. I didn't get any connection from the tree, so, I can try the road if you guys want, but still kind of new at this. Or we can just keep moving and follow the path.
I'll pop out a horse because I still have 2, so I'll pop out a horse and I'll like look up and gesture like, hey, come down.
There is a significant pause. And you see almost like just Jax.
Interesting.
He's just talking to a tree.
Wait, what?
You're the only one presently that seems to be able to see them.
Yeah. Whoa. Wait, you guys can't see this then?
No, what
What
is
are you talking about?
Yeah, this is a creature that I'm familiar with, named called the Shringa. I'm not too familiar, but I do know them, I suppose. Yeah. So let me see if I can coax it down, perhaps. Yeah. Hey.
You look back up and don't seem to see anything. You look down and there are like 3 kind of around your feet, just poking at you with like a rush from the water, like a stick.
Oh, hi.
Those are spirits. They're not creatures. That's actually what I was talking to earlier, in the city.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's weird that I can't see them, but that's cool that you can because you guys couldn't see what I saw earlier. But
Hi. And I'll put my hand down and let them like walk onto my hand and pull them up like at eye level.
Okay.
If that's possible.
The 2 larger ones are definitely hesitant, but the smaller one just kind of clambers up, and like hangs off of the deer hog's ear, like on your shoulder, and just like looks around.
So usually spirits want something. I'm not sure what to give them, but they might be able to help us. But it's kind of a toss-up. It just depends.
Last time in the streets one, didn't we give it like pebbles and rocks or something?
We did. I don't know. Do they seem to be like looking for something or staring at something or?
Yeah. What can I discern? Like are they looking at?
They're definitely incredibly interested in the 4 of you and the cart. You can see now 2 have walked up and have druid crafted like essentially small, they're almost like leaves but with a really long stem, so it almost looks like a tiny spear, and they're like poking at the cartwheel. There's one that's up in the goat's horns. The goat does not seem aware. The goat's just like,
Yeah, so one's on the goat, just kind of, in the goat's horns, and the other one seems to be trying to poke the wheel of the cart.
Okay. What are they poking with? Like,
It's like a leaf, kind of, but with like a long handle or something. It's like, I don't really know. It just looks like a leaf on the end of a stick, maybe?
I will try and druidcraft a similar type structure, I guess, and hand it to Jax and be like, well, try giving them one of these. See what they do.
I take it, and the one that's in my hand, I'm going to give it to that one. Be like, here, little buddy.
it like, you can't see, they don't have eyes. There's just like this sort of white mask, and all of them have different patterns carved into their masks. But it takes it and then kind of like fastens it to its back a little bit with like some grass, and then reaches down in like, it's almost like a little cup that's been cut or carved out of like the end of a cattail, which is really just a seed pod, so it doesn't really function like a cup, but who gives a fuck. And it pulls out a kind of like a sort of like a pearl, like a small round object that seems to have these sort of carvings and things in it, similar to the mask it's wearing, and places it back on your hand. As soon as it does, there's a small, like, almost like a chime, and it just immediately dissipates into these, like, threads of, like, silvery essence. I need Cerberus to go ahead and roll me a perception check and an arcana check.
All right, perception. That's going to be a 7, and then Arcana. Really, 2 4s in a row. That's going to be a 13.
Okay. Yeah. You immediately notice an instance of, you can't see anything happening, but you notice an instance of visibility of the weave in Jax's hands just for a moment. Like imagine carpet fibers being illuminated from behind by like a light. You see the strings that path out into the various planes that magic is drawn from, just kind of illuminated for a second and then dissipate. Jax, you have received a charm from a Chwinga.
Nice. So I want to look around. The other two are gone as well.
They're just dicking around.
I'd like to look at the charm. Investigate it, maybe?
It's not an active thing. You are just charmed. You have
I'm
a charm.
charmed?
Yes. You have the charm of the Traveler's Haven. So you have 3 uses of Leoman's charm of the Traveler's Haven. It won't be in D&D Beyond because I don't have Rime of the Frost Maiden, so I'll just text it to you.
That's really cool.
Chwingas are super cool.
I like
Nice.
how you did it. Like, each of us kind of have like a layer that we're like all contributing like through it. Like, it's neat. It's
It is cool, yeah.
I've been doing this for a piece. But yeah, for the remainder of the time, they just seem interested in like your equipment. A couple get up into the back of the cart and like kind of go through some of your things. But other than that, they seem relatively disinterested. They're like they think your stuff is neat, and they kind of like, at some point, Cerberus, you feel like the wind blow through your hair, but Jax, you can see one is like suspended from a branch and like just trying to grab some of it. I have a son now, so this happens a lot to me. It's like, what is that? Oh, it's my kid. Yeah, a couple of them are like, as the cart starts taking off, they'll like climb the spokes to the top and then ride the spoke down as it turns. But yeah, they hang on for a little while, but as you guys move out of the area, they hop off and walk back to their respective area. And with that, we're going to take a quick 15-minute break, get some food, some drink, and I need to find my wife because she disappeared. So we will be right back after a short break. But thank you so much for being with us or watching. Oh, our one viewer isn't here. They were here earlier. Anyway, see you in a bit.
All right.
And we're back. So we had our adventure with some chewingas, and my wife is back, but she is having a snack, so she will be off camera for a mo. So you guys continue into Longbog. There are moments where the cart gets stuck. You guys do have to like lift the wagon wheels out of ruts that have fallen into the wooden timbers. But the journey commences, and the rest of the day is relatively uneventful. You do your periodic rests and things like that. And at some point, it's about sunset. And sunset, or sun close, it doesn't really set. And that would happen. So, Zell, you recall at some point the reason that you guys continue onward without further interaction. The shrine that starts at the road is at Zealous. So there's a small shrine, and you can give gifts there for favor. This is a longer road, and generally the longer the road, not only is it focused more on more individuals, it's also harder to reach. One of the biggest road spirits that's kind of talked about or rumored about is the Silvercoin spirit, which is the Silvercoin road stretches from along the coast from Port Ianros all the way down to out of the country and into through Halfashir and into Kosuk. So it spans from the old Kosuk capital kingdom all the way up to Port Ianros. It's one of the biggest roads on the continent. And that actually crosses through Zealous. It's the north-south road. You guys are on the east-west road. You're on Merchant's Lane, which is also a fairly large road. But that's where that shrine would have been if you had wanted to make a dedicated offering. And depending on what you're offering, there are different... not levels, not tiers of subscription, but you can get more of its attention.
Would I have an idea of like what people like coins?
Coins are common. Coins are easy for a lot of people. Farmers can give portions of crops. It's kind of the shrine fills up during the day and is mysteriously empty the next day. Communing with certain spirits, like if you communed with road spirits on the way to Zealous from Enodel, the bigger the road, like the road in the city looked kind of flat, like bacon, like a bacon person. They almost all look like that, but some of them start getting, instead of flat, they get a little thick. They got some thickness to them along their length. They get bloated, and that can change their attitudes towards individuals, towards certain tributes, things like that. It depends on the road, and it also depends on the frequency of travel. So like merchants who have spent their entire lives traveling up and down Merchant's Lane, if they consistently make tribute, normally have pretty decent relationships with road spirits. But that's almost more important, is the length of time traveled along the road than the actual offering is.
Okay. Well, we're only going to be on... Yeah, so I probably wouldn't have offered anything, because it's such...
Yeah. Another place that shrines are often put is at Crossroads.
Okay.
But Sunclose begins. And you guys are traveling along for just a little bit farther to try and wrap up your day. And I need everyone to make a perception check.
$12.
Ooh.
11.
19.
10.
Okay. You all see it. Zelfarius and Orandi feel it. There's a straightish portion of road that begins to cut through the swamp. You can't see the edge of the swamp yet, but it carries on fairly straight for a while here. And at the very end of the road, there is a pinprick of black. In kind of as the sun is like dimming the light, you can see against the dreariness and the lack of color that you guys are starting to experience with your dark vision, there is a dark spot. Orandi, you feel an immediate sensation of a pull.
Like it emotionally, like I'm drawn toward it, or I physically...
On the...
Yeah, you have your push to talk. Do I feel like a physical pull, or is it like emotional or psychological? Like, do I feel drawn toward it?
More the latter. Zelfarius, you feel a level of ominous presence that is both gut-wrenching and wildly intimidating.
Oh, that's fun.
And there is something happening. It almost feels like a force inside your body that is pushing against the wall of your back, like something pressing against your spine inside your rib cage, trying to get away from that direction.
I just signaled to stop. I don't know if you all can see that little speck ahead of us. But I have a really, really bad feeling about it. Like, really bad.
I actually feel the opposite. It feels like enticing. How about I scout ahead, and I'll go ahead and see what it is, and I will mind link with you guys really quickly so that I can tell you what's going on.
But if it's enticing, what happens if it charms you and you're just gone?
Well, if I'm charmed, that won't keep you guys from trying to communicate with me, right?
No, true, but what I'm saying is what happens if we don't know what this is, if it's enticing you, if it's enticing one but not another, that's not a good sign.
Maybe, but maybe it's enticing me because it's something that is...
From hell. And if it is...
If
No.
it is, then I'm the only person who could feasibly go over there without potentially risking getting harmed. And I'm the one
It is
who would
miles
have
away.
fun. It's multiple miles away. When we get close, how about I scout ahead? But... No, go ahead.
Orandi, I'm not, no disrespect, and I'm not claiming you don't have any experience with things from hell, but I have my own experience with things from hell. And if this is what I think it is, while you are versed in that area, that doesn't mean that you can talk your way out of it necessarily, or try to use your influence of being in that realm. It may not matter, is what I mean.
Okay, so despite everything that's happened,
You guys look
I
back
am
and it's getting
actually-
rapidly closer. In a not quite physically possible kind of way.
we should get into the trees. I don't care if this thing is enticing. That's a little fucking scary.
Yeah, this is Love you.
You guys
agree.
can see
Hide the cart.
the shadows are beginning to deepen in the swamp. Not supernaturally, it's getting dark.
Oh boy. Oh Jax, can you that charm that you have? How quickly can you cast that shelter?
I mean, I can indeed. It's 1 minute cast time.
Yeah, start casting that, and we'll get in there.
I have to come out of horse form.
Okay, so you guys are like getting off the road. All right. Realistically, you guys are gonna have to get pretty far off the road to get completely out, and it's not as wet here as it has been. There is some land. It's soggy. You're gonna have to really try to get the cart off the road.
Well, we don't. Right? Okay. We could just.
We can get the cart just a little off the road, and then pick up all of our animals and creatures, and
Or-
go.
Or just leave the goat. I mean,
Excuse me, we're not leaving Anne Marie. No.
I think whatever this is interested in us and not anything else. And we're running out of time.
Well, I'm not leaving Anne Marie, and I just pick up Anne Marie, and I tell the Crocolith or the Basilisk to follow me, and then I just start walking into the trees.
Okay, so you guys get the fuck off the road. Are you putting the hut like close to the road?
I mean, I would definitely want to in the trees, so it has at least a little bit of cover.
Okay. About halfway through the casting of the charm, you guys begin to hear hooves. Not particularly comforting hooves. They kind of echo through the trees and almost like they're in an amphitheater. And you hear them long before you see the creature kind of coming through the trees. It's still a ways off when you begin to make out the form. Seated atop a black horse, you guys see a figure. It's mostly a silhouette, and behind it trails a long black cape of writhing shadow. It's carrying something cumbersome in its arms, and it's thin. It's unnaturally scrawny, what you can make out of it. And it moves, the horse moves at a normal pace, like a normal run, but it seems to be pulled over the ground by some kind of unnatural speed. And the most uncomfortable portion of the revelation of this horrendous creature is that where there would be a head, there's just empty space.
It's the Headless Horseman.
Have would I know anything about this creature in my studies and travels and
As far as I'm aware,
You're aware of a kind of fairy that fits this description. They come from, or are thought to be from somewhere in Faefiden where there is an overlap with Chimarea. So it exists entirely outside of the prime material plane. It is in one of... So imagine the dark pools that are in Enodel. Imagine you instead went to the Feyheim and found a dark pool there.
Ooh, bad. Really?
They're thought to be born from those sorts of locations and that sort of overlap. They're called Dullahan.
Does Arandi know about Dullahan?
Arandi specifically? No.
So I've never heard of them. I'm not familiar with this thing at all.
If anything, the closest approximation to knowledge you would have are that other things from Circleheim are afraid of them.
So I'm afraid of them.
I mean, there are things. So there are foot soldier devils in Circleheim that have border patrols near the opening that leads outside to Chimerea, and they tell ghost stories about them. So it's not necessarily first-hand experience. You're not innately afraid of it, but just what you've heard about things like this.
Probably makes me wary.
If for the chat, please.
It probably makes me wary.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as sudden as this thing comes into view and is pulled through the road, it stops abruptly. There's no semblance of slowing. There is no grinding to a halt. You're aware of it. You make out the image of it. And then it is standing next to the cart you left behind. That's it.
Have we all left?
Yes,
Oh.
I assumed.
I had made no indication. I was still under the impression that we were planning on taking the cart with us off of the road.
I said that I was gonna pull the cart off just the side of the road and then shapeshift. So technically, if we're going by what I was saying, it was the cart's just off the road.
Just off
But
to the side.
Unless you want to play it differently, but that's how.
That's what I assumed, was it was just off to the side of the road. Because, again, this is a swamp. Too far off the side of the road is just water.
That's what I meant. I didn't think we could actually take it into the swamp with us. So
I mean, you could. You're just probably not going to get it back. It depends. Do you want this thing to know that you were there? So you can stash your cart in the water and probably not get it back, or you can leave it on the side of the road. It's entirely up to you.
I say leave it on the side of the road.
They just leave.
You're the only one that can move it, so you get to make the decision.
I'll just leave it on the side of the road, and then we
Okay.
all went into the swamp.
Where is everyone, and what are you all doing? Let's go ahead and solidify that.
So,
Elvenkind hood up, hiding.
well, he was casting the dome.
Yeah, this happened halfway into the casting of the dome.
So
Oh.
it interrupted the cast.
Unless you want to keep muttering some enchantment, you can if you want. If you want to keep going,
I mean, are we out of range that he's not going to hear us, or it's not going to hear us?
you have no idea what this thing's senses are like.
I mean,
Real quick, because this will impact. So, with what I know about it, are they dangerous? Like, is it something?
They're considered like reapers,
Right, but is it something
like malicious,
I guess,
like
or
like a malevolent versus benevolent force. If you had to pick it on a scale of generally hurts innocence versus only hurts evil, they're super gray. They're like all of the gray spectrum in between.
okay.
Like a ghost evil?
It's like, what is the difference between a ghost, a specter, and a poltergeist? Like a Dullahan could technically be anywhere. They're individuals. They're different. They're old.
Okay.
I would
They're
say
incredibly powerful.
if it doesn't have a head, and it's all dressed in black, it probably would hurt us.
I mean, well,
That's my guess.
I guess I just want to gauge it. That's my last question. Is it something like in our realm? Would it be something like I would sense it and go to someone higher, like someone like, hey, this is here. We need a team, or is it something like?
Yeah, this is normally you would tell a superior about. This is a very much a one in an elven lifetime kind of experience.
That's what okay.
Yeah, this is not a regular run of the mill, like, this isn't something you encounter patrolling dark pools in Enodel. This is generally considered bad,
Okay. Okay.
but
I
it could
continue
not
casting,
be.
By the way,
What's up?
I continue
Okay.
casting.
Orandi, where are you?
I am going to put myself between it and the party, but I am going to get some partial cover behind the nearby tree. So I'm going to be at like the edge of the trees so that I can see it and be prepared to like let the party move.
Okay. It stops. It dismounts the horse. It begins the process of inspecting the cart, and you can see it lift the cumbersome object that it's holding up over the interior of the cart.
Wait, what's it lifting?
Something. You're not entirely sure what. A
Am I able
mass.
to see?
What?
Am I able to see? And or have I heard of the thing that it's carrying?
I mean, you're not able to tell. It's not entirely corporeal. It's
Gotcha.
it's the way that you would probably rationalize it is it is both here and there. It's like it's a folding or a projection of a scary place on a not scary place. It's here, which it could not be here. It could just be in the other place, but it can't entirely leave the other place. So it's not really easy to see. You're getting mostly silhouettes. It appears to be armored. It appears to have a thin, lithe frame that's kind of encased in what looks to be a jagged armor. But it's just strange. And then there's a moment where its general demeanor stops suddenly. The strange object it's carrying goes up towards its shoulders. And as the object is placed where a head would be, the shadows begin to fall away. Immediately, you guys hear the entire swamp begin to move. Jax, you guys don't know why. Jax, you look down, and hundreds of Chwingas are fleeing from the location of the cart. En masse. Orandi, you see ripples just moving away. Like Super Saiyan style, the energy is kind of blowing off. Instead of that, like, you just see ripples emanating from where the cart is. As Jax, you watch Chwingas, like, jumping into the water if they can't swim to try and get away from this thing.
And am I, just to clarify, am I still like drawn to it?
There's just a weird sensation. It's not like a longing, but like there's a something. It's like a grain of rice.
Fascination.
Yeah.
Right. Fascination.
Sure.
I'm just gonna whisper.
Which does dissipate as soon as the Chwingas start moving. Like, you are snapped out of whatever reverie you are in watching this thing. And yeah, definitely seems like some bad stuff going down.
Move, Jax. Once you complete the spell, get in.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, is all this happen in 30 seconds, or?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, so you finish your spell. You guys get in? Are you getting into the dome? Okay,
Yeah.
As soon as you guys get into the dome, the shadows flare back up. And the thing suspended over the stump snaps in your direction, Arandi. And then it flings itself up on its horse. What do you do?
I'm gonna shout after it. I'm gonna say, "Wait!"
No, it's headed towards you.
Towards
Towards
you.
me.
I'm
Oh,
gonna put her in the fucking
She's
bridge.
like she's halfway between this thing and you. She's not pull in distance.
yeah. I'm like a minute away. Not a minute, but a bit.
What are you doing?
Does it look malevolent?
Yes. That shouldn't be a question at this point. I need you to pick up on some story beats. This thing is a bad time.
Okay. I am going to just shout, "I'm sorry!" I'm gonna run away.
Roll a dex check.
Okay, and as I run away, I'm gonna say like, "I didn't see anything."
Holy shit. Oh my god. My heart.
Anyone?
Okay, you immediately fall into the water.
Oh god.
Fall in the water.
Yes.
Alright.
You feel the presence move past you in a direct beeline towards the dome.
At this point, I'll say, "Wait! I didn't."
You're underwater.
Oh, like
Yeah.
you can't like get up.
Nope.
Oh, I guess it's technically like a surprise round.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't do anything.
Okay.
I don't think anything can get into the dome, though, can it?
No, this thing doesn't know that. The creature puts a hand up, and you see two blackish red bursts of energy emanate from its palm, and they're immediately deflected from the surface of the dome. However, Jax, your connection to the dome, which by the way looks like part of the swamp, you didn't get this specific charm, I'll say, is Chewinga-esque. You guys see a couple of the Chewinga who were inside the area of the dome when it was cast shudder, as if the blasts almost drew on them, like drew from them.
No.
This thing throws itself off the horse and lands in the water next to the dome. You guys can see it.
It's opaque on the outside, though, right? That's what the thing said.
Yes, it can't see in. It walks around. It walks around to the opposite side of the dome from Arandi. So Arandi, what are you doing?
We can fire.
I'm gonna get the fuck up and I'm gonna try to talk to it.
Okay, so you get up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'll just say, "Hey, I am the Knight of Maria, and I request humbly that you do not do that."
You guys whip around to look at Arandi, and whip back to look at the thing, and there is no thing. Arandi, when you came out of the water, there was no horse. Chewingas kind of look around. And just ever so slightly, you guys see the shadows that have deepened in the swamp as the sun closes ease up and lighten just a little bit. You wait. Nothing.
I think it's safe now, guys. I think I scared it off.
What just happened?
And what the fuck was that?
I
So-
think it was a Doulahan. I've never seen one though.
I-
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Are we able to talk through the thing?
Mm, no.
Never mind.
Sound is protected.
I'm gonna look around like, is Randy not with us?
No, she's outside.
Like, you can hear outside, she just can't hear you.
I poke my head out a bit. Hey, come around here. Come in here.
Are we just gonna leave the cart?
Yes, for now.
Oh, okay. And I'll go in.
Okay, it's comfortable, it's dry, it's chewinga-y. The patterns that are on their masks are kind of reminiscent on the inside of the dome.
Zell just sits down immediately. You hear a huge sigh, just. Okay. Okay. That was, Abdullahan. They're basically, not exactly spirits, but kind of.
They're
They're,
like demon fae, right?
they're not necessarily demonic, but yes, fey in nature. Extremely, extremely powerful and dangerous and old. We have encountered them back home, and whenever one of those is sighted, that is usually given to a higher tier person to take care of. They are very rare, so the fact that we even saw one, I don't know. I'm having a lot of mixed emotions about it, to be honest. I don't know what this means or why we saw what we saw.
Well, I mean, we have them in hell. They're from the part of Shimaria that we don't really go to, because it's really fucky there. Um,
They're not plane specific, yeah. They're
yeah.
planes.
My understanding is that they like come to take the dead or something, don't they?
No. They are sort of like us. They have, motivations and drives and somewhat of a personality, but they can range from just kind of neutral to kill anything and everything for no reason at all, pretty much. Um, so I think we got lucky, but I don't know if that thing is still here.
Well, I've
Because
heard stories. I don't think I've heard stories where they've done anything like incredibly noble. But I've heard of
no,
situations where like they've kept a patrol from like being destroyed by, what the fuck ever comes out of there. Like sometimes they like our understanding of them is that we are like not necessarily just ants, but like beetles in their eyes. Like they are a much greater presence, a much stronger I guess in intelligence. They're what's the word I'm thinking of? Sentience. They're a much stronger sentience than we are. And so sometimes like they don't step on us and sometimes they like move us out of the way so that we don't die or like they'll like stop a cat from attacking us or something, but sometimes they just burn the ant hill, you know what I mean? I haven't heard of them being like necessarily only evil or like either negligent or evil is what I mean.
well, that's pretty much all that I've ever encountered from them, or heard of them. Uh, DM, would I know? Would there be like here, there's a haunting hour. So like, 3 in the morning, the veil is like thinner and shit is more like bled into it. Is there something like that in this world? Can't hear you.
Sorry. The planes don't move in specific patterns. I actually went over this before the session with Dan and Brian. The planes move in a spherical domain, essentially. So things like certain actions taken by enough individuals or things like that move the planes in directions. So it's usually cyclical, but not predictably cyclical. It's not that things happen because the planes are aligned in a certain way. It's the planes become aligned in a certain way because things happen.
Okay.
You can force transplanar things instead of having to wait for them. Just requires a lot.
Interesting. I don't know. This is something I'll have to try to meditate on, but all I know is if we encounter one of those again, gods hope we don't, we need to be prepared for the worst. Not saying that it would be, evil, but I don't know if you all felt it, but I felt the malevolence off that one. That one.
I think you could see that as well, and had that mean vibe to it.
I don't think it was blindly malevolent, though. Otherwise, I feel like it would have attacked me.
That's the
It's
thing.
almost like it was going after you guys.
That's the thing. I don't know if it was after me or after Jax, because the Chewinga spirit seemed to react to it. And it reacted to Jax completing that spell. So I don't know. I don't know what it was after. But
Hey, I think all in all, we survived.
That's a good point, Jax.
It's pretty heroic, if you ask me. Yeah, surviving such a dangerous-looking creature. But I agree. Yeah, if we come across it, we need to be prepared for the worst. So make sure that we can, defend ourselves if that's even possible against that bad boy.
Do we happen to know any of its weaknesses? Would radiant damage, would radiant spells do any? Would it be any good against it?
Maybe. I'm not sure about them too much. I would say that we should probably read up a little bit more about them. I have no clue why one would be somewhere like here.
DM, one more question. Have I read or heard about anyone like summoning those? Like for a specific,
Roll a history check.
history. Gonna guide myself. Please give me some book. If I can roll one thing. Okay. 18, 21. 15 on the die plus 3.
21. You know specifically of a singular legend that doesn't really call to mind anything from Fefiden or Enodel. There is a story that's just about as old as the Empire is. You've been around for a while, so this had to have come up at some point. There is a story of a singular black horsewoman who, without aim or any particular pattern or meaning, has been rumored to exist or has come up throughout the annals of history. Not necessarily in any contextual capacity, just a single lone writer who has been mentioned. It could be different people, it could be a trope, but it is a thing that is commonly just referred to as the Road Witch. What?
I'll relay that to the group.
Okay. But yeah, she's been seen in helpful capacities in some stories, negative capacities in others, and generally they're less than positive stories. For the most part, even positive aspects, normally there's like some unfortunate outcome. A lot of them seem to be more cautionary tales, things like that. Not necessarily a Doulahan. No mention of her being headless.
So there's that. But I don't know. I don't know if that has any pull on what we saw or not.
Alright, so should we go back? Wait, are we able to see the cart from where we are?
Yeah.
Does it look okay, or is it destroyed?
It's sitting silently.
All right, so should we hit the road? I think we should take it as good luck that we didn't get killed by the Doulahan. Shouldn't
I mean, it
you?
is nighttime.
Or should we set up camp?
It's entirely up to you. I'm just letting you know it is dark now.
We can set up camp inside the tiny hut and sleep. Does it have a time limit?
I think it's 8 hours.
8 hours. Yep.
Hey, Jax. Quick question before we do start sleeping and taking watches. You can turn into like a bird, right?
Not yet. I still have some learning to go to be able to fly, but
Oh, never mind then. I was gonna say maybe you could like scout up ahead and see how much swamp we have left on our road, but that's okay.
I mean, if we're about to take a long rest here in our hut, I could, speak with the local plants and kind of, get an idea for the lay of the land.
That's a good idea.
Aye. All right, yeah. I'll step outside the hut. Which, by the way, we shouldn't have to keep watch because as long as the hut's closed, nothing can affect us, right?
Correct.
All right, so I'll step outside of the hut and cast Speak with Plants. With limited, yep.
Okay.
What exactly did we... All right, what exactly did we want to know?
How much more swampland is there?
Aye, Mr. Plant. Can you let me know how much more swampland is ahead of us? Would that be something that you are able to tell me?
I don't want to make creepy trees, but creepy stuff just happened. Our roots stretch many miles. Maybe 3-4 days travel.
Aye, and that's along this road as well? It's all swampland.
Yes.
Aye, okay. Is there anything else you can tell me about the area? Are there any dangerous creatures, or are there any... You've seen some creatures come through here recently?
Yes.
What kind of creatures?
Creatures that walk on two legs. Sometimes four. Sometimes none.
Pretty vague. I'll give you that, but I appreciate the info. Hey, how are you doing today? I didn't ask that to begin with. Are you doing okay?
Our roots dig deep with excitement, for he comes near.
And by he, you mean who?
The oldest of old, the man of the woods. He comes, he follows the moon.
I've never been called the oldest of the old before, but I do appreciate that. You were referring to me, correct? I mean, I am man of the forest, yeah?
Not you, but another. Not a man. Not a creature. But walks on two legs. Sometimes four. And sometimes none.
Does this being have a head by chance? Or no?
Yes.
Where is this person now?
We do not know.
Alright, I will turn and relay all this information to my party. So, what do you guys think?
I think it's the Doulahan that they're talking about. I think they're implying the four legs being the horse.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
I
I
Not-
think that implies that it's coming back.
Yeah. So it follows the moon. My guess is that whatever this thing is, I don't know, attached to or summoned by, is stronger at night when the moon is present.
So when we're traveling, it's pretty safe to say, hint of darkness, get the fuck off the road.
I would say so. Zalfarius, are you implying that it is summoned by something? Or someone?
I just with what I know about them, I know the planes, right? They move around us. They're not, set. They constantly shift. And the veils weakening or becoming more thin between the planes are a result. It doesn't just happen. So I have a hunch that the reason this thing is here is something, some way, shape, or form is but I don't know. I could be wrong.
Is what?
think you broke up a little bit.
Oh, I said I don't know, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but that's just what my hunch tells me. And for what purpose, I don't know that either. But I don't think it's just here randomly.
I would agree, yes.
Jax, how many times can you speak with plants like that?
So it lasts for 10 minutes, so I can probably continue a little bit now, but probably about twice per day.
Okay. The reason I'm wondering is because I think it might be a good idea to ask the tree if maybe there's a way for us to placate it or to ensure that it doesn't come after us.
Aye, yeah, I'll ask that. I'll step back out. Hey, so, Mr. Chi, by the way, do you have a name?
I have not been given a name as of yet. That is part of what makes this an exciting time.
Who is supposed to give you a name? Is it this being?
Yes, the one that comes.
How often does he come to this area?
It has been long since he has been here. Long before my time.
Aye, do you know much about him? Like how to ensure he doesn't attack us? Is there a way we can barter or speak with him? Her.
He does not care for the trivial occurrences of your kind. He would not attack you. I'm not certain he could even notice you.
Aye, that does make some sense now. Because you see, it appears that he ignored one of our party members, or I'm sorry, one of our group members who was outside this, I don't know if you can see it, but one of the Schwingas gave me a charm.
That was
And
not who I speak of.
Aye. This is a different being then.
Yes, I have not seen that one before.
Aye, so is there a way you can summon this person you're talking about?
Would that I could, I would have long ago. We simply wait to be given a name.
What happens if I give you a name?
I do not know. I assume. I've never really had a conversation like this before.
Aye, from henceforth you shall be known as Doug.
Doug. I appreciate this gift, but I will cast it aside as soon as I am given my real name.
Oh. That's okay, I understand that. I just, someone as stature as yours, you need a name, In case anybody comes bounding through, I can say, hey, speak with my tree friend Doug. He knows what's up.
Can many of your kind speak to trees?
Many of my kind, perhaps, yes, but I am a specific, type of person. I don't know if everybody can,
It would make me feel really bad if travelers have never spoken to me and could have the entire time.
Aye, yeah, well, I'm a little bit of a specialization in being in nature like yourself, so they would have to be you probably
So the
have to be
name that you gave me is still